Hello, my name is Lynette Lee, and I am a career specialist here at the East Baton Rouge Parish Library Career Center. Today, we're going to be talking about how to apply for a job at Dollar Tree. To begin with, I will share my screen so that you can see what I see. Here we go. So once you have the internet open, you're going to go to the address bar at the top, type in the location that you'd like to go to. Today, we are going to dollartreejobs.com. Press enter and the machine will take you there. All right, and once you're on the official company website, you're going to look for something that's called employment or jobs or careers. It's usually either near the very top of the page or the very bottom. I'm not seeing it at the top, so let's scroll down to the bottom. Use the gray bar on the right side of your screen, click and drag all the way down to the very bottom of your screen. And let's search for employment or jobs or careers. Here it is, careers. Click on careers. All right, we'll scroll down again using the gray bar. And we see three different options here: search and apply for store careers, logistics careers, or corporate careers. I'm going to choose store careers today. I want to work in a Dollar Tree store. Click on that. And again, we'll scroll down. Again, here it gives us options. Do I want to apply for a store associate position or a retail management position? Today I'll take a store associate position, so click search and apply beneath that. And once it loads, scroll down again. All right, it says it's got over 15,000 job opportunities. We need to narrow that down a little bit. My favorite way to narrow it down is by location. In location, I'm going to type in Baton Rouge, and the autofill pops up and asks, do I want Baton Rouge, Louisiana, United States? Yes, I do. So I'm going to click on that and click search. All right, here, if we scroll down, we can see there are 59 openings in Baton Rouge. For each opening, we see a job title, and below that, we also see a location, which address this is at. I'm going to click the first one. And by clicking on that title, it takes me to the application for this particular job. I'm searching for an apply button, and there it is at the very bottom, apply. All right, it's asking me to sign in to my Dollar Tree account. One problem, I don't have a Dollar Tree account yet. This is my first time applying for this position. So at the very bottom here, you'll see don't have an account yet. That's what you want to click on if this is your first time. And then it's asking for information. Now, as it says here, fields marked with an asterisk are required. Anytime you see this little red dot, that is a question you cannot skip. So we're going to go through how to enter this information. For email address, we're going to use an email address for an account that we created here, John Quincy Public, who is a fake person that we made up for the purposes of these videos. All right, now from here, you can use your mouse to click onto the next blank. Or if you prefer, you can use the tab button on your computer. This can cycle you between different blanks very quickly. For right now, I'm going to stick with the mouse because I think that's easier to see on screen. So click password blank. Now the password is a difficult part of this process for some people. It can be tricky. Two big things to keep in mind. Number one, whatever password you use, you need to keep track of it. You need to know what it is and what application you're using it for. Is this your Dollar Tree password, your email password? What password is this? The second thing you want to keep in mind is whether this password meets the system's requirements. Different job applications have different requirements. Let's see. This one is showing us their requirements. The password must be 8 to 25 characters, and must contain at least one special character. A special character is something that's not a letter or a number. It's a special symbol, like a dollar sign or an exclamation point or a percentage sign or a number sign. All of these signs that are not letters, they're not numbers, these are called special characters. So you have to have at least one of those in your password, and your password has to be at least 8 characters long. So I think what I'm going to do for my password is I'm going to come up with a word that means something to me, something that is something that I'm passionate about, and that way it'll be something that I'll remember. Now, if I still don't have enough space, I need to make sure I include my special character. I'll include a special character of an exclamation point because I'm excited, but it's still not long enough. So what else can I add? I can add more words. I could add numbers. I could add a year. If there's a year that means something to me, I can do that. Whatever you do as your password, you need to make sure it meets their requirements and that you keep track of it. Re-enter password. This is where you will type in the exact same thing over again. And everything is green, all these green check marks. It's long enough, it's got the special character, and it matched when I retyped it. So we're good to go. Moving on to the next section. Security questions. A security question is a question that's kind of a last resort for if you forget your password. They'll ask you a security question, and if you answer it the same way every time, then they know that you're really you. So for a security question, you need to pick questions that you'll answer the same way every time. So a question like, what is your favorite song? 5 years from now, you might have a different favorite song. That might change. But a question like, what was your mother's maiden name? That's not going to change. So that's a better security question. We can see here that they have a drop-down menu. You can tell a drop-down menu by this little downward pointing arrow right here. Anytime you see that downward pointing arrow, you're going to want to click on it because it's going to give you different options. And what you need to do is choose one of those options. So we'll click on it. And it's giving us options of different questions, different security questions. What is your favorite vacation spot? That's a bad security question because that might change. What is the name of your first school? Well, that's a good question. The answer to that is not going to change. I'll select that. Whatever answer you write, you want to keep it simple. No special characters, no capitalization even. You want to make sure that this is something that is very easy for you and will be easy for you every time you answer it. You're going to answer it exactly the same. Again, you select a different question. I'm going to make sure that I don't capitalize anything there. And question number 3, a third question. And continue. It says it's going to take 12 to 14 minutes to complete this application. I recommend that you plan for longer than that, especially if you want to give more detail on your work history. Let's get started. Are you a current associate of Dollar Tree? Or Family Dollar, no, I do not currently work there. Once I answer that question, another question pops up below it. Are you legally eligible for employment in the US? If you are someone who was born in the US, the answer to this question is yes. If you are someone who has become a citizen of the US, or if you have a green card, the answer is also yes. Are you 18 years of age or older? Yes. And again, we're following these drop-down menus. We're seeing these little arrows and clicking on them to see what the options are. Are you able to perform all duties indicated with or without reasonable accommodation? Are you physically able to do the job as described in the job posting? Yes. Where did you hear about this position? We'll scroll through the options and then find out how you found out about it. I'm going to say I found out about it on Indeed. We spend a lot of time on Indeed. And then please select the days that you are available to work. It's interesting the way they have it broken down. They have it broken down by time of day. So for early morning, which days can you work early morning? For morning, which days can you work morning? You want to be as flexible as you can on this while not putting yourself in a situation where you're saying you're available when you're really not. If there's a time that you're not available or you would really prefer not to work, don't indicate availability for that. But other than that, any time that you are available to work, go ahead and put it down because it makes you more flexible. I'm going to say that I'm available to work all weekdays in the morning, in the afternoon, or the evening. However, I did not select any options for early morning because I'm not available to work at 2 a.m. And I did not select any options for overnight. Below that, it says, please click dtarbitration.com and review Dollar Tree's mutual agreement to arbitrate claims. This is a legal thing. So you do need to click on the link. You need to read through it to see what these legal claims are. But understand, no matter what they are, you have to agree to them or else they won't complete your application. So if you see something here that you think, I'm not okay with this, well, that's fine. You don't have to agree with it. But if you don't agree with it, you will not be able to complete your application. Once you've read through it, go back to the previous tab. You have to click agree and then save and continue. What is your gender? You click on the drop-down menu, choose male, female, or if you'd rather not answer, you can rather not answer. That's the same for all of these questions. If you would prefer not to answer, that is an option. And then you'd save and continue. You could also hit save and finish later if you're interrupted in the process and you need to come back to it in the future. Resume and cover letter. Now it says that a resume is mandated. This is necessary. You have to have one. But if you don't have one, you can select use my profile to use a profile that you've been building with them instead of a resume. I do strongly recommend including a resume if you can, because it gives more detailed information on your skills and work history. But if you don't have one, you can just click use my profile. We'll select that option for today, just so that I can do a better job of showing you what the process is for filling out this application. All right, and again, you're going to fill in the blanks. The blanks with the asterisk, you have to fill in. The ones without, you can skip if you want to. For example, address line 2, you can skip that unless you have an apartment building or suite number that you want to put there. Here for the drop-down menu for state, you scroll down, they're in alphabetical order, scroll down until you see All right, the next section asks you to enter in your social security number. This can be dangerous to give out your social security number online. However, in this setting, we know that this is a legitimate opportunity. We came here from the official company website, and they do have information reassuring us that this social security number will not be used in an inappropriate way. So always be cautious about including your social security number, but in this case, it is safe. For our fake person, we are including a fake social security number, one that is not a real number. Please note that underneath it, it shows you the format that they want this in, and it includes the dashes, which means you need to include the dashes when you type it in. If you're not sure what you're typing and having trouble keeping track of it, you can click the little I here. The I will show you what you're typing. Because normally it's all messed up. It hides it because it doesn't know if there's someone standing over your shoulder and you don't really want them to see you typing in your social security number. But if you feel comfortable, you can click that I and it will show you. Same thing when you confirm. You can click the I to re-enter your social security number, in our case, a fake social security number. And again, you want to make sure that you include those dashes. Date of birth. Again, here it's showing you the format that they want for this. You want to start with a month, then a slash, then a day, then a slash, and then the year, all 4 numbers. So for example, if our fake person, Mr. John Quincy Public, was born on July 4th, 1976, we will confirm that. And make sure that you do include those slashes, otherwise you will get an error message. All right, scroll down. Let's add education history. If you don't have an educational history that you want to include, that's fine. You can leave this section blank. But if you would like to include one, you're going to hit the Add button. School. Now this is a drop-down menu, but not every school in the world is on here, so can you type in your school? Yes, you can. Graduation year, you do not have to answer that question, and I wouldn't recommend answering that question, especially if it's been a long time. No need to advertise your age. Major area of study. And degree. High school diploma. Done. If you have more education that you'd like to include, you can hit the Add button under Education History to add another piece of education. For now, though, we'll stop with the high school diploma. Move on to the next section, work experience. Again, you don't have to add work experience, but it's usually a very good idea to do so. Click the Add button, and it's going to ask you for the name of the company that you worked for. I would recommend starting with the most recent job, job title, and the dates that you worked. And yes, this is my most recent work experience, or rather, this is John Quincy Public's most recent work experience, since I am applying as this hypothetical person. Responsibilities, you're going to want to give them some idea of what you did on this job. And give them some idea of the good things that you've accomplished on this job. Done. And we can see this job is here. Of course, this is only one job. You probably want to add more than one. For most people, we recommend putting about 10 years of work history, but it does say you may include up to 5 recent jobs, so it's kind of up to you. Let's go ahead and add another one. We'll see what that looks like. All right, and done. So normally you may want to include more work history than this. However, we're going to stop here because I think you've got the hang of it, and save and continue. Next, the Work Opportunity Tax Credit. This is a questionnaire that asks you some basic questions about your situation. The reason they ask these questions is because there are certain government programs that will give the company a bonus for hiring people who meet certain qualifications. So they're trying to see if you meet those qualifications. Just answer the questions honestly. Scroll down, save and continue, and be honest. A state or local community-based organization, did they refer you to this job? You would know it if the answer was yes. They're asking about unemployment. Again, just answer the questions honestly. They're asking about government assistance such as TANF or AFDC or welfare. Just answer the questions honestly. And now they're asking about SNAP or food stamps. Are you a military veteran? Did you receive assistance due to a disability to help you find this job? Have you received SSI? This is disability again. And save and continue. You want to certify that all statements herein are true and accurate. If you have lied or not told them something, then it will result in dismissal. So you want to make sure that you've been honest. All right, and now it's reviewing everything that you've said in the application so far. If you see anything that you would like to change, hit the little pencil button to edit it. That will let you make changes to your answers. For now, though, all of this looks good. All of this looks accurate. And now you're going to send your application. You would think you would be done at this point, but you're not. There is a new section, Take Assessments. Let's take a look at that. And click the Start button to start. Select your preferred language, so you can take these assessments in Spanish if you'd like. We're going to stick with English for now. And this, like the section at the beginning, is some legalese mumbo jumbo. Please read it carefully, but understand that if you do not agree to it, you will not be able to complete the application. All right, this is instructions on how this assessment is going to go. They're going to give you statements, and for each statement, you talk about how much you agree or disagree with the statement. Let's see an example of what that looks like. Hit next. Okay, so our first example, question number 1, the statement is, I work better on my own. Do you agree with that statement, or do you disagree with that statement? Do you work better on your own? If you agree, how much do you agree? If you disagree, how much do you disagree? Just make a choice. Now, we're not here to tell you what the right answer is, because there is no right answer. You have to choose the answer that feels most honest for you. So just to show you how the process works, I am going to strongly disagree with every question without even reading them. This is not a strategy I recommend for you. I recommend you read the questions carefully and select the answer that makes the most sense for you. Once you've completed the page, hit submit. All right, that completes the first assessment, but we're still not done. There's a second assessment. These are the instructions for the second assessment. They're going to give you some scenarios, and in each scenario, you have to choose the best possible way to respond to it and the worst possible way to respond to it. Let's hit next and see an example of this. Okay, so we see the question is up here. A customer returns a defective item she recently purchased. She loves the merchandise, but the store doesn't have any more like it. What would you do? Below that, it gives you 5 options. You could offer to repair the defect. You could help her find another similar item she also likes. Give her a refund and directions to the nearest store that does have the item. You could ask her to contact the manufacturer or attempt to special order it for her. From these 5 choices, you have to choose the very best answer and the very worst answer. Whatever one you think is best, you're going to click next to that answer under the heading Best. And the same for the one you think is worst. So if I think the first answer is best, I'll click Best here. If I think the last answer is the worst, I'll click Worst for that. This is an example. I'm not giving you the right answer because you have to figure that out on your own. And submit. And this is the end of this assessment. We hit Finish. We have completed the assessment. We exit the assessment. And that's it. We've completed both the application and the assessments. We wish you luck with your own applications. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. If you'd like to see more content from us like this, please hit subscribe. Thank you.